The top question, how many distinct rearrangements of the letters in that little set there are there? So first we want to count how many there are. So there appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different letters there. Some of them are obviously repeating. So we're going to have 10 with a factorial, which we also see as an exclamation point. And then we're going to divide that by the factorial of each of the letters and like how many times they come up. So for the I's, show up twice, so that's going to be a 2 factorial. There appears to be 2 B's, so that's going to be another 2 factorial. There appears to be 3 K's there, so it's going to be 3 factorial. And then there's going to be 1, 2, 3 W's, so another 3 factorial. 10 factorial means 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. We could put that in the calculator, but we don't necessarily have to. We can also notice a couple things. When we do like this 2 factorial and this 2 factorial, the 2 factorial means 2 times 1, which is 2. So we have 2 times 2 here, effectively, which is 4. So that would cancel out with this 4 right here. And we also have a 3 factorial, a couple of 3 factorials, which is 3 times 2 times 1, which is 6. So this 3 factorial could cancel out with this 6, and this 3 factorial here could cancel out with the 3 times 2 times 1. And we're left with 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 5. Now you don't have to break it down like this. It can just be kind of fun, if you will, to do it. And that would give us 25,200 different possibilities. The next question, they're not going to necessarily tell you it's a permutation or combination. A permutation is when the order matters, and a combination is when the order doesn't matter. So this question says a bank of 9 movies is chosen for a movie marathon in which 3 movies will be played in a specific order. So that's telling us that the order matters, which means that we want to use permutations. So how many different ways can the movies be set up, be chosen here? The key here, when you look at the N and the R, it might look kind of complicated, but the N is always bigger. The N is always bigger, or equal to, I should say. If it's not, then we did something wrong. And once we know that, it's going to be pretty easy, because they're not really trying to trick us yet. It's going to be 9 factorial over 9 minus 3 factorial. And just to be very clear on this, 9 minus 3 is going to be 6, so it's going to be 9 factorial divided by 6 factorial. I already wrote out the 9 factorial, which is 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2, and I'm not going to even put the times 1 anymore. And the 6 factorial will be 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. And nothing stops us from putting this all in the calculator and coming up with one answer for this, but we can also just recognize that the 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 will cancel out in the top and bottom, so we're just left with 9 times 8 times 7. It's a lot less to put in the calculator. And in doing so, we're going to come up with 504 different options. And the last question, Benjamin is going to choose 3 songs. The word choose there is a good indication that it's going to be a combination, even though it did say that before in the prior question. But Ben's going to choose 3 songs to listen to during his exercise workout. If there are 8 songs to choose from, how many different exercise songs combinations are possible? In this one, the order doesn't matter, and they just say the word combination, which is a big clue. So again, when you're identifying the N and the R, the N is always going to be bigger or the same as the R, so N is going to be 8, and the R is going to be 3. We just put that into our trusty little formula for combinations. And of course, the 8 minus 3 will just turn into a 5. And just like before, I'm going to expand this out. The 8 factorial is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2, and expand the 5 and 3 likewise. And I will put the bottom there in parentheses just to highlight it. So the 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 is going to cancel out the top and bottom. We could also cancel out the 6 because 3 times 2 is 6. And then we're just left with an 8 times 7, which of course is 56 as our answer. So if you have any kind of questions, ask your math teacher.